Okay, in the last video, we came up with an idea for a cartoon. Jeb running in, and he's got his fish, and he gets cut in half. And in this video, we're gonna flesh it out a little bit more and make an animatic. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm just gonna open up the file that we created last time. And so I have two columns, a grid column, and this is the thumbs column. So this was the idea. So Jeb is starting back off in the distance and he's going to run around, and there's a saw blade in the tree. It cuts him in half and his legs keep running. And then we're going to cut to the legs running off screen. And then Jeb's going to whistle and the legs are going to stop and then run back and link back up with him. And he's going to take off running again off screen. Okay. So we're just going to leave this on here. Let's change the opacity down because we might need to reference this in a little bit. And we're going to leave that grid. And let's go ahead and create a new column. And I think I want to keep the background separate from the action from Jeb and everything. So on this column, let's make this a background layout. And we'll call this BGL for background layout. It's always a good idea to name your columns so you can stay organized, okay? And let's go ahead and just create a quick background. Okay, so I'm gonna drag my brushes down. And I'm still gonna use the blue pencil for this. I really like the blue pencil. Let's go ahead and just recreate our tree, and I'm just going to keep it rough and loose. Okay, and we can make the tree more detailed later if we need to. Just add some little bushes on it. Kind of looks like armpit hair, doesn't it? Okay, so let's go ahead and get our path in here. And the size I'm using for this shot is 2048 by 858, and it's a 2K scope is what it's called. Let's get some little pebble stones in here. And we'll probably want to add the saw. Let's go ahead and add the saw in here. And again, this is just an animatic, so you want to keep it loose and rough. And so for the environment, I kind of want to bookend the shot to where, like, maybe, you know, there's some, maybe in the foreground over here, there's like some bushes, and maybe in the background, let's do some hills, and maybe there's some, you know, trees over here. We'll just do some hills like this, you know, and then maybe back here, there might be some trees in the far background. You know, we could have either some bushes or like a tree line. Like right up in here, there could be some trees. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to get a layout. Maybe some bushes, sporadic trees in here. I just don't want it to take away from the action of Jeb. Then maybe we could have some clouds up here. Okay, so now let's come in here and create a new column for Jeb. We'll just call this character 1 because his legs might be on a different column. And we'll just call this CH1. And let's turn off our reference image. And let's just start sketching Jeb in here. Okay. And this is just for us, but you know, if we ever needed to pass this on to someone else, we want to make it as clear as we can for what's going on. Okay. So let's hold our background down. And let's hold the grid down. And I'm just guesstimating right here. I'm just going to hold it down to like 33, just roughly. And that will probably change for sure. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's lock these other columns. And let's see, let's give him time to run in. Let's go down to frame, I don't know, let's say 11. And we'll do one of him right here. You know, maybe his mustache is flapping in the wind, and maybe he's got a big smile. I'd kind of like to see, you know, how happy he is with his fish. Okay. And he's running back to camp. He's going to have a good cookout tonight. He's going to be eating good. Maybe his fishing pole's over here. And maybe his lure is like flapping in the wind. Okay. And see the background, I am going to remove this tree just because it was like kind of messing with my head. Yeah. Of him running around. So let's come in here to frame 5. And let's get a drawing in here. Let's just take this one, copy it. This is just an animatic. We're not even like rough animating yet. We're just trying to get kind of our timing down and what's going on. Maybe that fits forward and this one is back there, and he's like, yeehaw! Just running around this path. Okay, here he comes. Okay, so let's try this on 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do a drawing in here. And then we'll push that other drawing down to 4. Okay, so let's copy this. Edit, copy, edit, paste. Shrink him down just a hair. We're going to change up his feet right here. This foot's up like that. Whee! Okay. Maybe these are dragging more as fish. Okay, so let's get this on 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that one for 4. Okay, so now let's flip through and see if this makes sense. A little shadow. Trying to get some timing in here. And just planning out, just refining the planning out a little bit more. You don't want to get too detailed in this stage, okay? Okay, so let's do another drawing. And let's try edit, copy. Just going to try to reuse a bunch of this. So he's almost to the saw blade. Let's switch the legs around just for funsies. Okay, and this is where it's going to get a little tricky because I don't want all of the action taking place to the right here. I want him kind of in the middle. So I want to scoot this tree over. So I think what I want to do is come in here to the background layer. And as he's coming around, let's click and create a blank drawing on the background layer. And I think I'm going to pan this background over. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this background and we're going to paste it right here. Because this will just give us an idea of how the camera is going to move, okay? So like I want it to come over like this. We may need to redraw some of it over here. Okay, so now when we flip through, as he's coming up, the camera's going to pan around, and like right here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to copy the background, we're going to paste it in here, and we're going to get it over like this. And we're going to click and create a drawing there and one here. And I think as he runs in, I'm going to have this first drawing. This is where pre-planning really comes in handy. So I'm going to have it over here. And I'm going to go back to Jeb. We're going to put him right here. And as he runs in, the background's going to pan over. Okay. Edit, copy, edit, paste. And then edit, paste. Okay. All right, so I'm just panning the background over, okay? Okay, sometimes it just takes a little adjusting and going back and messing with things. So I think I got him coming in, and the background's going to pan over, and then he is going to, the background's going to stop right there. And Jeb is going to keep running through, edit, copy, edit, paste. And he's going to run through the saw blade. So I think what I want to have is, I'm going to have, boom, he runs through, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's just have his legs keep going, okay? We'll just kind of do something like this. Okay, and we can fill in, if we need to get more steps in here for the legs, we can. And I'm going to switch back to the freehand and just kind of see if it's the same size. So these legs are going to keep running. Boop. And 1, 2, 3, 4. We may need to change this from 4s to something else. So let's do more legs. Let's see, we can have, you know, let's try and have a down position. Why not? Just to keep it fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's have the legs pushing off. This is probably a little more in depth than we need to get, but you gotta keep it fun and interesting, you know, for yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just kind of working on 4s. This is kind of what it looks like right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm not worrying about numbering right now. I just want to get my idea in. Okay. And let's click to create a blank drawing. Okay. So as we flip through, let's change the opacity down on that background. Okay, so we're gonna flip through, and his legs are gonna keep on running. Okay, let's change the grid. Like I said, we're gonna have to extend these down sometime. So, and his legs got smaller, so let's scale them back up. That's just kind of driving me a little crazy. If you don't like it, change it. Okay, remember this is just the animatic, but I'm trying to leave time in here for Jeb to kind of react. So, like, doing, there's he runs through the saw blade. So maybe this is where we could have the saw blade, like, you know, boing, react to him running through it. And maybe Jeb can be like, huh? I want to see a little bit of his shorts right there. Get his eyes, just so we know what's going on. Let's have him right before he hits it. And now he hits it, doing, and his legs keep running. Okay, that might work. So, boing, and then we're gonna hold Jeb. Edit, copy, edit, paste, and let his legs run off. So I'm just pasting him on these frames, and you know, maybe this could be where the, you know, the saw blade starts settling back down because it did the springy. Okay. And now the saw blade is back to normal. A little shadow under there. And maybe this is where, like, his legs run off and he looks up. This is Jeb looking over at his legs running off. Okay. It's easy to get caught up in detail, but again, we're just doing the animatic right here. So let's hold this. edit copy, edit paste, and give his legs time to run off. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to cut to a shot where just his legs are running off. Okay, this is going to be the cut, camera cut. So like we could pan the camera. I really want to stick with this idea of doing some camera cuts. So right here, we are going to have a new background right on this drawing right here. So I'm just going to click to create a blank drawing. And I'm not sure what this background will look like. I think I want to have it continuation of the other background, but we don't have to have like as many trees and things like that. We could have some trees though. Maybe there's some trees over here just to kind of bookend. I like that idea of bookending. And you know, we could have some clouds up here. That might be fun. Those could be trees. I don't know. I'm just kind of scribbling around. We could have a rock. Have rocks. You can have whatever you want for your background. Okay, so this shot, this is a new shot, so I'm going to make a memo and do camera cut. I'm going to change the color to this blue. That will let me know that it's a camera cut. Okay, and lock the grid. And here comes the legs. So we're just going to try to get the main points in here, okay? Let's hold the grid all the way down. And we'll hold this new background down like this. Okay, and what's going to happen is the legs are going to run in, but we're going to cut back to Jeb, and he is going to whistle at his legs, and then we're going to cut back to the legs, and we're going to see them skid to a halt, and then we're going to cut back to Jeb again. We're going to have some camera cuts, and then he's going to be like, get back over here. So we're just going to reuse a bunch of what we've already done. So when we cut back and forth, so like example, the legs run in, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're running in, edit, copy, edit, paste. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here, we're going to cut back to Jeb, which is drawing 10. Well, no, let's see. Drawing 12. So double click and type 12 and hit enter and see it puts him back there. And then if we go over to the background, we're going to change this to what it used to be, which is 5. Okay. See that? So now the legs are running in and boom, we cut back to Jeb. And this is where he can do his other action. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where he's gonna whistle. So let's get his whistle in here, and maybe his mustache blows out like this. And we actually see that he's kind of like bald. We can extend these out. If we need more time in here, we can always extend these frames out and add more time. So he whistles, and we cut back to the legs, which they ended at 15. So let's come down here and do 15. And then we'll cut back to 6 right here. And I'm just going to delete all these. So this is where the legs are going to kid like this. And they're going to stop and turn around and look. They're going to look at Jeb. Okay. So then we're going to cut back to 5, which is Jeb. And let's just click and redraw Jeb. Actually, we'll just copy and paste this, save some time. And what he's going to do is going to let go of his fishing pole, and it's just going to float. This is a magical cartoon. And he's going to be like, get back over here. Okay, that's his finger. Get back over here. And then we'll cut back to the feet. So let's change this to 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And the feet will they're gonna anticipate and jump up in the air. I know that's what something I want. We planned that out earlier. And maybe they do this like, you know, cartoony type anticipation. And then they'll start running back. We're just going to reuse this, edit, copy. Edit, copy, edit, paste. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to click and create a blank drawing before you paste. Let's go back, edit, copy, edit, paste, just to speed up this process, because I want the legs to get back. 4. Oops. Edit, copy, edit, paste. Okay. Now we're going to cut back to Jeb. So it's going back and forth. So this will be 5. Yep. And this will be Jeb at 19. So let's create a new blank drawing. We're just going to reuse what's at 19. Edit, copy, edit, paste. And I think when we cut back, I'm going to have him already looking at his, the legs coming in, and he's already holding his fishing pole like this. He's kind of like looking down at his legs running in. And this will be where his legs stop right here. Edit, paste. And Jeb's gonna drop down on his legs. So, boop. We're just gonna redraw this. Maybe his knees bend, boop, to get that weight because he drops down. Boop. And then he takes off running again. So let's just go way back here and just reuse this one. Edit, copy, edit, paste. 4. Let's click and let's get Jeb running off. Edit, copy, edit, paste. It's all right. I'm still on 4s. Edit, copy, edit, paste. And on this one, I think, we could have him looking in the direction he's running. That might be better. He's already conquered his legs getting split. This could be his ear. And then his mustache. So yeah, we'd have to redraw this section right here. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay, let's turn off onion skin, and we're just gonna flip. Right, you know what? Let's just hit play, and we're gonna move our stop marker up here and delete some of these frames. And let's just hit play and see how it feels. Okay, great. It's coming along. Okay, so now we just need to play with the timing. Okay, and so I'm gonna do that quickly by changing this. I'm just gonna add 2 frames here, 2 frames here, 2 frames here. Okay, let's see. Okay, I like it. So I kind of switched it to 6s. And then we'll cut to his legs, and we'll add 2 on all of these before we cut back. Let's add 4, because I feel like we need more time for this to read. This will get this all on 8s. We're going to cut back. We'll add that on 8s. He's going to whistle. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go in here and tweak the timing, add a lot more time on spaces that I want to hold longer, and I might add a couple more drawings, but not much, and that will be our animatic. Okay, so after I finished that video, the next day I came back and I changed the color of the background to like a grayish color. So I went up here to X Sheet, Scene Settings, and then click this little checkered box, and then you can adjust the color of the background. So I kind of made it this mid-tone gray. And then what I did is I drew the background on its own column, and I used the Animate tool to move it over, so to pan it over, and I held it for 17 frames. So I just set a key at 1 and then copied that key to 17, and that's where it starts panning over. And I created a layer for the saw because I wanted it to look like it was vibrating. And then when I drew the saw, I just set the same kind of keys so that it tracks with the tree, with the background. And then everything stops at frame 61. And then for the saw, I just switched to frame by frame. And so I just kind of went like that. Okay, let me play that again. And I did that on 2s. I just did some drawings in here to make it look like it vibrates. And if I hit play, boing, boing. So I just want to get the idea across, right? So then I created a white palette brush over here, and I got the paintbrush tool, and I went in to each frame and just painted white. Okay, so like right here, I just kind of came in and painted behind the pencil. And if I needed to erase it, I would just come up here to mode and do area. and I could just erase the white and it wouldn't affect my pencil art. And I did that with the saw as well. Okay, so that's how I made the animatic for Jeb getting cut in half. So get out there, start scribbling, make some animatics, and happy animating. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.